Picture this. It's 2025 and you're watching the Game of the Year awards. There's been some heavy hitters already announced. A new Tomb Raider game. Claire Obscure wins an award for Best Art Direction. 2XKO, a fighting game in the League of Legends universe. Claire Obscure wins Best Narrative. You start to hear rumblings of a special announcement at the end, made by the developers of Titanfall and Apex Legends. That's kind of insane considering a new Divinity game by Larian Studios just got announced. Lords of the Fallen 2, a new Star Wars, Warhammer 40k games, and Neo 3. Claire Obscure wins Game of the Year, obviously. All that tension, all that anticipation, it's crackling, waiting to see what could be the huge announcement at the end. And the crowd goes mild. It's a game called Highguard, another free-to-play 5v5 hero shooter. The game's supposed to be coming out on the 26th, and only while I was editing this video did they finally make some tweets about it. It's pretty underwhelming too. For a monetization model that calls itself live service, these games seem to be destined to close after 3 weeks. On the off chance you're unfamiliar with the term, live service games are continually updated with things like new content or events, usually funded by a subscription service like battle passes or by an in-game shop, usually filled with cosmetics like character skins. But I think Highguard has one foot in the grave, a grave shared by other failing or failed live service games like Concord, Anthem, Battleborn, Splitgate, Crucible, Redfall, Star Wars, Hunters, X-Defiant, soon to be Paladins, and I'm guessing that Marathon will join them if the reports about Bungie morale and art theft are true. But if you're not familiar with the hero shooter genre, you might be wondering why there's such a strong, apathetic, bordering negative market reaction. It's a free game and more variety couldn't hurt, right? That's fair, but from the frame of mind of hero shooter players, I think a big reason for the apathy is market saturation, leading to burnout. There's been a big release every few years, mostly brought by the explosion of Overwatch nearly a decade ago. Most live service games, especially competitive ones, require a lot of dedication if you want to maintain your skill level equal to the player base and participate in the game's events and drip feed of content. Picking up a new live service game can be incredibly difficult. It could also be the negative reaction to seeing a studio made of promising developers who have made games that you might like, get directed by higher-ups to try and cash in on a fading trend. That said, I don't think it's just that players are tired of live service games. Personally, I'm interested in Valve's development of Deadlock, which looks incredibly unique, new update out by the way, but it's more that these new hero shooter live service games, and by extension many other live service games, aren't offering anything new. Let's take a look back at Concord. I think Concord had a strong negative reaction because the game and gameplay looked corporate, bland, and frankly a little ugly. Concord initially launched at the price tag of $40, but tried pivoting to free-to-play as the game started to fail. Concord never took off since it never offered anything new and was totally outclassed by Overwatch and Marvel Rivals in a mediocre package. The marketing also wasn't there to help keep any momentum from the announcement. Most of my friends didn't even know about the game until it got cancelled and I started posting memes about it. Oh yeah, did I mention that Concord only lasted about 2 weeks? Oh, also, did I mention that Concord's estimated development cost is pushing upwards of $400 million? In comparison to Concord, Highguard doesn't look terrible, right? The gameplay looks like some kind of hero shooter MOBA blend, but that's only skin deep. It's the same formula as so many other games, and some people are cynical that mounts me that the maps are large and empty and are just another thing to sell skins and make money off of. Another reason I think was the reveal. A little tidbit you might not have known is that it was reported that Highguard didn't pay for its spot as the last game. They did reportedly purchase a slot, but Jeff Keighley, the host and producer of the Game Awards, has a massive hand in choosing which games are revealed, and sometimes gives slots away for steep discounts or free to games he finds personally interesting. There's a bit of speculation if another game originally had that closing spot but backed out, but imagine you're Weatherlight Studios for a second. Surely you're confident in your game, and it would be crazy to not accept that closing slot at the biggest game awards show. But that expectation of something new and interesting only to be revealed as another game in a saturated market let a lot of people down. The rough part about live service games is that they need a player base to be able to afford devs to keep making content, and a lot of people have already decided it's dead on arrival. Those two tweets aren't going to change anyone's mind, and I think they should have tried harder to advertise the unique features of the game if they wanted to see any traction. Is there a moral or conclusion to this video? I don't know. Live service is still super enticing for shareholders and publishers, and a lot of people do want to play them, but they want that underlying game to be actually good, not incomplete, buggy, pumped and dumped, or made as an excuse to hyper-monetize all the smallest features and customizations. That extends to whatever the new hot genre might be, battle royale, extraction shooter, MOBA, or whatever. The money chasing also strangles a lot of other ideas that don't have that massive potential for decades of income, like AAA quality single player games with a limited playtime. My advice? If you're not having fun playing your live service game, take a break. For the AAA companies, make better games and stop laying off your devs if your decisions fail. Screw your golden parachutes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.